Who are you? What's your name? Where do you come from? What color are your eyes? Are you male, female, Chinese, Australian, Indian, Arab? Regardless of the answer, I know two things. One, you are a human being. Two, you are a citizen of the 21st century. Therefore, what I'm about to say is extremely relevant to you. As a human, our strength is not in the sharpness of our teeth or the strength of our jaws, our astute reflexes or our fleet of foot, but rather in our unprecedented capacity to work together, form societies and function as one. This is how we survive. The premise of any democracy is that its subjects formulate the direction of the society. This addresses both the integral oneness of the community and the dynamic uniqueness of the individual. My concern as a citizen regards the current direction of this global society and how it directly compromises our survival. This direction can be discussed under the underlying theme of freedom. Freedom is a term synonymous with democracy, but has recently been used in a variety of situations which transform the contemporary experience of freedom into a 21st century freedom. This 21st century freedom, I will attempt to argue, is a perversion of the individual liberty required for any progressive and free society. To discuss this, I must briefly refer to the 19th century philosopher Georg Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. Getting to the point, Hegelianism prescribes a Hegalian dialectic, or a Hegelian method to extract truth, which can be described in the following example. Imagine the idea of heat. Heat means nothing without some understanding of something which is cooler. When comparing these two concepts, Hegelian resolution is formed, resulting in various temperatures. Or rather, the thesis is heat and the antithesis is the cold. A resolution constitutes our understanding of temperature. Under Hegelian dialectic, this understanding of temperature means nothing without an opposite Hegelian thesis and antithesis. Long story short, Hegel says that our minds can't contemplate anything which can't be split up into two polar opposites. Make sense? Good. Now, how does this affect you? This understanding has massive implications in politics and society. Many of Hegel's admirers prescribe to Hegel's definition of free will to their own political approach. Hegel, in his book, examines free will as something which can only realize itself within the paradigm of a thesis and antithesis. Hegel and his followers believed it was the duty of the state to institutionalize political conflict of interest, so that progress is made, or in his words, the state is God's march on earth. Now, consider your own political situation. Do you believe we are free? Do you believe that you have a choice where we're heading? Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay, then answer this question in your mind. What's your politics? I'll let you think about that. Was your answer left? Was it right? Was it center? I asked this question to many people, and the answer is invariably one of these. Now, next question. What's the difference between the left and the right today? I'll give you time to think. But while you're thinking, let's see for ourselves how these two choices manifest themselves in a so-called debate. So, got an answer? What's the difference between the left and the right? Indeed, for any country to be free, there must indeed be a difference. Now think about your answer. Now think about Hegelian dialectic. Do you see where I'm heading with this? Hegelian philosophy has truly precipitated in what we today see as political bickering and polemic. Under this Hegelian doctrine, to influence change I must pick a side, left or right, thesis or antithesis. Do you see a problem yet? The problem is that whilst people are bickering between trivial issues of left-right party lines, there are issues that are not discussed by this left-right device and therefore unheard of. These people don't fit into the Hegelian dialectic that is Western democracy. What issues could this be, you ask? It's the aim of this and following episodes to document and discuss issues circumvented by mainstream politics. It's my concern that this left-right dialectic has been exploited to create a control mechanism where people are satisfied by the illusion of free will and democracy. What am I talking about? Here it is bluntly. This concern is that the left and the right are both influenced at least by a single entity wishing to usurp and remove power from the citizens. This effort is orchestrated by a ruling elite, a covert oligarchy. They support both of the two-party choices simultaneously, which serve as a one-party Hegelian state. Conspiracy theory? Crazy? Paranoid? Remember that the greatest manifestation of the concept of a free nation is the foundation of the USA via the American Revolution and the Declaration of Independence. I think it's important to remind people that it was George Washington who exposed the conspiracy of a regular and systematic plan of oppression, endeavoring by every piece of art and despotism to fix the shackles of slavery upon us. Washington's realization was that he was fully convinced, as I am of my own existence, that there has been a regular and systematic plan forced to enforce the British agenda. This realization was not a popular one initially. If these few brave people did not publicly deplore their realization of this secret dark and deep, their pigmy would have resulted in the British colony of the Americas, rather than the independent United States of America. In hindsight, prudence and skepticism of our leaders and elite form the cornerstone of all free societies, where opposition is welcomed, not met with bad taste. Instead, today, all conspiracy theories are seen bluntly as attacks on the nation-state, where people would otherwise place faith in leaders rather than individual initiative and independent thought. So, let us venture forth as writers of our own destiny, as independent thinkers and thus the very architects of free societies. Where do we go now? It's popular opinion that supposedly informed citizens in a society such as ours cannot easily be duped or lied to. However, usually the only tool by which citizens become informed is through the mainstream media. Take a breath, open your mind, and let's begin.